Most beginners, when getting into the gym, think that the barbell bench press is the best chest exercise in the world. Well, what if I told you there's an even better option out there? One that hits the chest more effectively, has less shoulder pain, and leads to bigger gains over time. Well, today I'm going to be talking about the best chest exercise that you're probably skipping. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and join the newsletter in the description. This is where we talk about anything that's going on in the fitness community, and usually one comes out every Friday. If you've been here for a bit, be sure to comment what you'd like to hear about, and I'll make a video about it. There's 1,000 chest exercises out there, and the barbell bench press is typically the one that most beginners go for. And this isn't inherently a bad exercise, but it wouldn't even make B tier if we were to rank it. Before I tell you what the highest ranked exercise would be, let's talk about why it would be that high and why it works. To build a well-developed chest, you need exercises that target the upper, mid, and lower divisions of the chest. A lot of people rely on free weight bench press a little too much, and it works for some, but it does not maximize chest growth because your shoulders and triceps can take over and just because you lack in stability. When choosing the better path for chest growth, we want an exercise that maximizes mechanical tension specifically for the chest and nothing else involved. So this would mean we want an exercise that loads horizontal flexion, and that's just a fancy term for bringing the biceps towards the midline. And then we would want it to be super stable, as well as load where the chest has the best leverage. This next exercise checks all those boxes while reducing unnecessary factors like joint strain. And that exercise is machine chest presses. No matter the quality, whether it's incline or flat, this is a great exercise. Machines have this wonderful thing called stability where it allows us to put all the emphasis on our chest instead of allowing limiting factors like on free weights with all our other muscles like our shoulders, our triceps, our biceps, even on barbell bench press, that are limiting factors for just trying to stabilize the movement. So our strength output is so much weaker compared to a machine. If you've ever noticed, even if you test it out, you'll be a lot stronger on machines compared to free weights because there's a lot more limiting factors on free weights compared to machines, because machines allow us to target what we actually want to grow instead of having to deal with all these distractions. And specifically with muscle growth, we want to be specific in our choices because we want to grow an even body and not just have other things take over when they're strong points. Because to fix weak points, we have to isolate them. And if your chest is a weak point, then your shoulders and triceps will take over on any barbell bench press overall. So we want something very specific where we can kind of work on form and allow the chest to come up and be a strong point finally, and then problem solved. You have a massive chest. And chest press machines can come in all shapes and forms, and there's only a couple that are just kind of tricky to work around to make sure that's specifically for your chest. One being the hammer strength chest presses. If they're plate loaded, they're going to be heaviest at the end. And this is where the triceps will have the best leverage at the end because you're just locking out your elbows at that point. So you can just not lock out your elbows and you'd be fine just for specifically chest. But if you have another chest press that's a different variation that loads the beginning of the motion, this would be a better option for specifically growing your chest. Chest press machines are great though because they do load horizontal flexion, and they also are great in stability, and they are great if they load where the chest has the best leverage at the beginning of the movement. So if you do have access to those, this is why chest press is so amazing. I have nothing wrong with pec deck. They're going to be a great exercise too, especially if that's one of your only option. This really only loads the mid to low pec, so you do have to consider that, but it is also loading horizontal flexion, and as long as you don't let your shoulders round forward, this is an amazing exercise for your chest. I just rank chest presses above it because you have more options like incline, flat, and decline, just so you have more options to compare what or where your chest is weakest at. So it's finally time to say goodbye to free weights if you have access to a chest press machine, because this will definitely blow up your chest. I promise you. Stick with it for at least 8 to 12 weeks for a certain split and progressively overload it with time, and I promise you your chest will no longer be a weak point. But that's it. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment what you'd like to see next. Join my newsletter in the description because this is where we talk about anything that's fitness every Friday, and I'll see you in the next video.